23-year-old student protester was arrested after he threw eggs at the king and his wife Camilla, the queen consort, during their royal visit to Yorkshire. The protester was among the crowd that gathered to greet the couple as they carried out an engagement. The student was heard shouting, "This country was built on the blood of slaves," as he was restrained by the police. In Nigeria, presidential candidates of various...
Hello everyone, good day according to your time. Welcome back to Learning is the Key. Hope you guys are doing well. Please, if you are seeing my channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and kindly hit on the notification button. Please don't forget to like and also follow my page and like my page. As I do that, God bless you. And I just want to thank you all that have liked my page. You have been really wonderful. God will bless you. So guys, here is the new updates, and where you will see a lot of things about the ongoing election, the way they are giving it to each other like woto. You know this thing I really don't understand, or I should say that always often for years now we have heard things like this. Even in Europe we do hear things like this sincerely. When they are doing election, there are these people that are going to dig your background. They will dig and bring some things out. Why is it that all those things they are bringing out, people are not really like following it to really see if they are really saying the truth? Because like this update now, you will see that someone went to dig the other opponents and they are just messing around the whole thing. And not just that, you will also see in this video how a Nigeria singer collapsed. Hi. The guy collapsed, but I think it's really like maybe the too much, the pressure was too much on him, or maybe he just wanted to also play prank on his followers, on his fans. So you take a look and see. Above all, you have to see the way they are preparing for the 2023 election, and you should start also encouraging your people, giving them words that they should be very careful. You understand? By this time or how, but next year, what's going to happen, we don't really know, but we know that Nigeria election is never a child play. God bless you guys, and I hope to see you in my next update. Love you all. Ciao. Have a lovely evening.
Parties have continued their campaigns across the country in the build-up to the 2023 elections. The People's Democratic Party's presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, and his running mate, Ifeanyi Okowa, held a rally in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital.
By the grace of God, if PDP is elected, we shall restore peace and order in Borno State, not only in Borno State, throughout the country.
While the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, led a massive crowd to the Ibrahim Babangida Square in Makurdi, the Benue state capital, where he pledged to support every state of the country if elected into office.
Federal government of Nigeria, under Peter Obi and Dati, will support every state to be productive.
Under sports, Senegalese Bayern Munich forward Sadio Mane may be absent from the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar due to an injury he sustained during Bayern Munich's 6-1 win over Werder Bremen on Tuesday night. The absence of the 30-year-old reigning African Footballer of the Year, who led Senegal to the AFCON title in January and ranked second at the Ballon d'Or Awards, could jeopardize the nation's chances in Qatar. Finally, under entertainment, Afrobeat star Divine Ikubo, popularly known as Rema, shocked fans during a high-energy performance in London when he seemingly collapsed on stage. The 22-year-old star, who calls his fans ravers, was then rushed out on a stretcher, but as panic broke out, Rema suddenly jumped back onto the stage to the amusement of the crowd. That was a really cool performance.
That's rough play.
Yes.
Should not try it again.
I know. Let's begin what's trending. The spokesman of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Keyamo, on Wednesday responded to social media claims alleging that the All Progressives Congress flag bearer, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, forfeited funds linked to drug trafficking in his bank accounts to the United States government, stating that the funds were tax deductions and not drug proceeds. Well, on Tuesday, social media was awash with what appeared to be certified true copies of a settlement order issued by a U.S. court in Illinois regarding forfeiture of funds in some bank accounts linked to Tinubu. Well, according to the court documents, there were probable cause to believe that the funds in the bank accounts were proceeds of narcotics trafficking. Keyamo, while speaking during a live television interview, said that Tinubu was not sued or indicted on any charge. The spokesman of the APC presidential campaign, Bayo Ononuga, has also weighed in on the allegations. He described the documents in circulation as a campaign of calumny, adding that muckrakers are back in business. Well, let's take some tweets. Well, this is from Ayomide, who wrote, Tinubu was an employee treasurer who earned $2,400 monthly, but he had 10 accounts in 3 banks with over $2 million in them. How did he make the money? That's the question that they have not always answered. Well, journalist David Hundeyin wrote, he actually called Festus Keyamo a despicable liar for defending the documents and challenged him to a discussion, stating, in quote, "You cannot lie like this in 2022. I will destroy you in less than 7 minutes if you agree to discuss the story with me on any television station of your choice. This is an open challenge." Well, Emmanuel wrote, "You can never be convicted of drug offense in the United States and settle it with forfeiture. Never. It would have been jail straight for Tinubu if truly he was convicted of narcotics dealing. The United States don't joke with drug offense. Hence, I am convinced that Tinubu was not convicted of a drug offense." Dr. Bati, while I catch my breath, over to you for your comments on this story.
Well, you see, the thing about politics is that if you go into politics, you must be ready to hear the story of how your mother met your father.
You always say that.
And how, you were conceived. In fact, some may even doubt your paternity.
Yeah.
It's the nature of politics, either in Nigeria or elsewhere. In the case of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all of these stories are not new. Since he became governor of Lagos State in 1999, all of these stories have been in the public domain. And that's why Mr. Bayo Ononuga said the muckrakers are back in business, because it's an old story. Okay? Keyamo's defense is that if you look at paragraph 38 of the same, document that you put out there, I think that's an affidavit, right?
Yes.
It's an affidavit, which is also something that people should be very careful about. He said if you look at paragraph 38, the document talks about tax, that these are tax deductions, and that the processes are mere, speculations. So what do you expect? The APC is bound to respond. But as a person, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been dealing with all these allegations since 1999. And, it's not been taken to task anywhere, to the best of my knowledge, in this regard. But in political seasons, yes, every mud will be thrown at you from whatever direction, just to discredit your candidate, just to malign you, lower your integrity in the estimation of right-thinking members of society. That's just about that,
Well, Rufai, I kind of agree with my last Twitter user there. I mean, I'm not in the FBI, but I feel like, drug trafficking is a huge offense. And, for you to be charged with that and then forfeit, I believe it was $490,000 of your money, in exchange for jail term is quite unheard of. I don't know if you've heard of anything like that.
The first question we should ask is, was there a forfeiture? Yes. When did it happen? It happened a couple of years ago in America. This issue has been on for some time now. It's political season, everything will come out. But we should also introspect deeper.
Yes.
Because you see, the question here is about character of people that want to lead our country. And it has to be said. And that's why when any candidate has this, they must come to explain beyond reasonable doubt. Somebody asked a question in your tweets that how does somebody that was earning $2,400 a month earn all that money? I think there's some explanation that needs to be done with documents. Because yes, these things come out during election season, but people come out with documents to explain. That's why I want the APC, apart from the explanation of, Mr. Keyamo that I felt was quite condescending on the journalist, saying, I want to school you, pick a pen and paper. I think that's wrong. I think people should not do that. It's a critical matter on ground, and when people ask questions, you supply them with answers as much as you can. So apart from that, I think they should also get more people to come explain all of this. Because it's constantly about a character question, and people have asked, even what's the name of the candidate? Who is this candidate? What school did he attend? And the likes. Because all of these issues also came up when he was governor. And you remember how the National Assembly had to settle that this same Festus Keyamo, it was Festus Keyamo v. House of Assembly in Lagos. He was the one that took then the National Assembly, the House of Assembly and Bola Tinubu to court then about another case, the veracity of the university he went to. He was the one. So he's been on the opposing side. Now he's been on this side now, because of politics and interest change. But we should interrogate further, and I think a lot more explanation needs to be made. Yeah, if he says he's not been indicted, let's come up with more explanation. Let's come up with more documents. Let's be able to look at this, and let's also follow the money trail. How can somebody that was earning a certain amount all of a sudden had 10 different accounts that had a lot of money? What was the association with other people mentioned in that case that may be related to this? So we need more documents, we need more explanation, because you see, my fear, debts like this for presidential candidates are critical. You know why? We've had scenarios where other countries in the world, that when they have debts like this on your presidential candidate, they use to hold your country to hostage. Yeah. And we should be careful. You remember how America treated, Nicaragua with Noriega. So we need to investigate, and this should be proven beyond reasonable doubt. So a lot more explanation needs to be done, and we need to see documents as regards this to explain all of this for us.
Well, all right, Rufai. We'll take another story. Following a recent call for the resignation of Sadia Farouk, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, by the Niger Delta caucus in the House of Representatives over her comment on Bayelsa not being one of the states most affected by flood, while presidential spokesman Garba Shehu said that the call for her resignation was inappropriate, stating that the government is equally concerned about the flooding in Bayelsa as well as other states, and they will continue to support them in overcoming the incident. We've been talking about the story, and I don't think it's going to end, for a while until adequate measures have been put in place to help the victims in Bayelsa. If you recall, we talked about these people that called for her resignation, the Niger Delta caucus. One of the lawmakers there, Solomon Bob, who represent Abua Odual in River State. He's a PDP lawmaker. If you can pull up his picture there. I think we represented him as a APC lawmaker. He was one of the lawmakers calling for her resignation. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Well, yesterday when you brought up this subject, I made it clear that ministers hold their positions at the pleasure of the president. He has the authority to hire and fire, in exercising his powers under Section 5 of the Constitution. The executive powers he has, and the power also to delegate authority to whomever he considers fit, of course, with the approval of the National Assembly, as the processes are stated in the Constitution. So in this particular case, the effect of Garba Shewu's statement is that one, the minister is not going to resign.
Absolutely. That's
Two,
what you said.
the president has no intention to ask her to resign or to fire her. That much should be clear to everybody. The second point, which I had made yesterday, was that, look, the members of the Niger Delta caucus or any other group, be they traditional rulers or whatever, yes, okay, they're just expressing an opinion. Even if it was on the floor of the National Assembly, a mere resolution has no effect. It's just merely advisory. The president can ignore it if he chooses to do so. But this was not even a resolution. This was a group of lawmakers expressing an opinion. The third point is that in the statement by Garba Shehu managed to strike all the right notes. He said, for example, that no life lost is considered lesser than that of others. In other words, every Nigerian life matters. Two, he made the point that the federal government will continue to do all that it can to provide support, and even commended the Bayelsa state government what it's been able to do so far, and even called on the international community. 3, he made a point that this is not the time for public reproach, that this is a time for cooperation, and I think he's right on all of those regards. However, the residual point, which he did not address, is that the people of Bayelsa are saying that since the incident and other parts of the country, no high-ranking, member of government visited. Okay, we saw the Minister of State for Petroleum eventually, going home. Chief Timi Presiva, but he is from Bayelsa State.
Yes.
It's like going to see his own people, maybe to even assess whatever damage may have been done to his own assets by the natural disaster. But, Nigerians wanted more, government persons, as is done in other parts of the world, as has been done in the Philippines, as you have seen, in the floods in the United States. It's not for people to just sit down in Abuja and be making statements. And now the committee that has been set up by the federal government to come up with lasting solutions. That committee will submit its report when the next floods have started. They've been given 90 days. By 90 days, we are almost entering another rainy season. So this is the kind of negligence that people are concerned about. And it is that compels them to start asking for scapegoats in government. That's the larger point that government has to address. But I think that the right statements have been made, but words may not calm the people down or assuage their fears that they are being treated as if they are less important. Right. But the point is made, every Nigerian life matters, whether in Jigawa or Bayelsa, or what is that your village?
Delta State.
Oh, okay, you are from Delta State.
Delta State. I hope I see you there soon.
I'm pulling your legs.
I know,
just pulling your
but
legs.
I'm from Delta State. We'll take our final story. Some rights groups have condemned a court ruling which sentenced 2 TikTok skit makers, Mubarak Mohammed and Nazifi Mohammed, to 20 lashes of cane each and 10,000 naira in fines for allegedly defaming the character of the governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, in their skits. The TikTokers were arrested on November 2nd and taken to court after they were captured in a viral video calling out Ganduje. They were charged to court on 2 counts of defamation and sedition. They were also ordered to sweep the court premises for 1 month after they pled guilty and sought leniency from the court. Well, Amnesty International, through its director in Nigeria, Osai Ojigo, accused the judge who pronounced the sentencing of following orders from the state government, adding that the arrest of the skit makers was against the law and called for their immediate and unconditional release. Dr. Abati, this was quite an annoying story for me. Rufai, I'll come to you on this one.
I mean, this was quite an annoying. So I just want to make a quick correction. I was talking about Noriega and I said Nicaragua. It's not, it's Panama. So I mean, just to get that fact right out there. This is quite an annoying story, and it has to be said. No ramification. What kind of judicial system are we having? So people do not have the freedom of speech any longer. And you say they defame you. How many people has the governor, if I can, by the top of my head in political speak, defamed with the words of his mouth? We can start looking through it. We can't build a country this way. And then you are flogging them, doing all sorts, maltreating them. I think people should step in all of this.
Yes.
And who is the judge that made this law in the first place? Is flogging part of the constitution of this country to how to punish people? What sort of society are we building? This big monism, this hegemony, and they can't talk to people, they can't talk to their leaders. Well, why do we watch? It doesn't justify it, please don't get me wrong. Why do we watching somebody pelt, what is it called, with eggs? Did they kill the person? Didn't somebody try, having a lunch at Emmanuel Macron? Did they kill the person? What kind of society are we building? I'm happy Amnesty International has stepped into it. Please, they should do everything possible to help those, comedians.
Yeah.
All right?
This is not
Is it for every person that abuses us or attacks us, if we react, how many do you want to react to?
This is not the first time. We've seen, I believe, in Kogi State, these 2 guys that were flogged for
pulling up.
I wanted to comment on this because it's about the law.
Yes, I wanted to know what part of the law.
In one regard, this is a magistrate court. Now, the magistrate court has recommended flogging, sweeping of court premises for 30 days. Now, if you look at the criminal code, there isn't corporal punishment in the criminal code. But this is the challenge we face when you have one country, two legal systems. You have corporal punishment in Article 55, Section 55 of the Penal Code. It must be in this particular instance that the magistrate is applying the penal code, because this can be the criminal code. Again, sedition. They are being charged for defamation and sedition. Sedition refers to the sovereign right of kings to be above the law. Even the English people that gave us that law under common law, they've reviewed the law of sedition. I mean, people have the right to free speech. That's the second major issue that this throws up. The third point that it throws up is that counsel to the two persons, Unique Peking and his brother Muhammad, you know, they say they are not going to appeal. They've accepted the punishment. But we have this dilemma of one country, two legal systems. It would have been nice if they had gone on appeal, you know, to challenge the ruling by the magistrate court.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You know,
Let's leave it at that.
They pled not guilty, and they also asked them to apologize through their skit, their videos as well. I guess they have done that. I feel like they should be released. Well, thank you both for your great analysis as always. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.